Have you ever had a dream that seemed impossible? What if that dream was to go to space, without being an astronaut, a millionaire, or a celebrity? How far would you go to make it a reality? This is the incredible story of a man who never stopped believing, even when the odds were stacked against him. Eiman Jahangir's journey to space didn't start with a rocket launch. It began with a childhood dream, one that persisted through decades of hard work, setbacks, and unwavering dedication. Born in Iran, Eiman moved to the United States with his family at the age of 4, carrying with him an early fascination with space. Like many children, he would gaze up at the stars and wonder what it would be like to travel among them. But unlike most, he never let go of that dream. Eiman pursued a career in medicine, becoming a cardiologist and eventually serving as an associate professor and director of cardio-oncology. But space was never far from his mind. In fact, his passion for science and discovery only deepened his desire to explore the final frontier. His dream was bold, to become an astronaut. He applied to NASA's astronaut candidate program 5 times, becoming a finalist twice, in 2009 and 2013. Yet, despite his impressive qualifications and years of preparation, he wasn't selected. It was a bitter disappointment, but Eiman refused to give up. The rise of space tourism. While Eiman was working tirelessly in his medical career, a new era of space exploration was unfolding. The development of private space companies like Blue Origin, SpaceX, and Virgin Galactic began to change the game. Suddenly, space wasn't just for astronauts. It was becoming accessible to civilians, at least those with significant resources or connections. However, even with the rise of commercial space travel, the dream of going to space still felt out of reach for most people. It remained a rare and exclusive opportunity until organizations like Moondao stepped in. As space tourism slowly opened its doors, it was still a privilege reserved for the wealthy and well-connected. This exclusivity raised the question, how can we make space more accessible to everyday people? Enter Moondao, a revolutionary organization founded with a single mission, to democratize access to space through decentralized, community-driven efforts. Founded by Pablo Moncada-Larratis, Moondao operates as a decentralized autonomous organization, DAO, allowing members to contribute to decision-making through blockchain technology. The goal? To put space within reach for ordinary people by raising funds and purchasing seats on commercial spaceflights. In early 2022, Moondao quickly made waves, raising over $8 million in just a month. With the dream of space travel fueling the momentum, over 2,000 individuals from around the globe participated, and with those funds, Moondao secured 2 seats aboard Blue Origin's New Shepard suborbital rocket. The first seat was filled through a public vote, an open poll where Moondao's global community selected a famous individual to represent the project in space. In August 2022, Kobe Cotton, a YouTuber from the channel Dude Perfect, became the first Moondao-sponsored civilian to reach the edge of space. His flight was a success, but the second seat, reserved for a follow-up mission, came with more challenges. The redraw, Eiman Jahangir's lucky break. The initial winner for the second seat was a man from China, marking what could have been a historic moment for space diplomacy between 2 global superpowers. However, due to logistical and political challenges, Moondao couldn't secure the necessary permissions to bring him to the United States for the flight. After more than a year of trying, they were forced to redraw for a new winner. In early 2024, the opportunity opened again through a unique competition, the Ticket to Space Sweepstakes. Entrants could purchase non-fungible tokens, NFTs, to enter, and over 2,200 entries were collected. The final selection was made through an on-chain smart contract, a transparent and verifiable process, live-streamed on YouTube. It was during this live draw on January 25, 2024, that Eiman Jahangir's name was pulled. After years of narrowly missing his chance to become an astronaut, the moment he had been waiting for arrived, and he had finally secured his ticket to space. From dreams to reality, the emotional roller coaster. Winning the ticket wasn't just a stroke of luck, it was the culmination of a lifelong journey filled with dedication and resilience. Yet, despite his joy, Eiman was struck by disbelief. Could this really be happening after so many near misses? His dream, one that had felt so far away for so long, was now within reach. Still, doubt lingered in the back of his mind. There was a fear that something might go wrong, that the chance could slip away again. Months passed, and the reality began to sink in only after Blue Origin officially announced the crew for the mission. When his name was made public, Eiman finally allowed himself to believe that he was about to achieve what he had been chasing for over 15 years, a journey to space. With his place aboard the Blue Origin New Shepard officially confirmed, Eiman Jahangir's focus shifted to preparation. While commercial spaceflight is designed to be safe and accessible, the experience still requires serious physical and mental readiness. Eiman, having come so close to becoming a NASA astronaut, was no stranger to the intense demands of space travel. Over the years, he had taken every opportunity to prepare himself for this moment, going through extensive training to ensure he was ready for the final frontier. Jahangir had already completed private astronaut training at the International Institute of Astronautical Sciences, IIAS. This rigorous program equipped him with skills in life support systems, space physiology, high G-forces, crew resource management, and even spacesuit operation. He had learned how to handle the physical and mental stresses of space travel, from the crushing forces during launch to the strange feeling of weightlessness in zero gravity. One of his most significant training experiences came in 2023, when he served as the medical officer for the first analog astronaut mission at the Space Analog for the Moon and Mars, SAM, at Biosphere 2 in Arizona. This simulated mission was designed to mimic conditions on the Moon or Mars, giving Eiman a taste of what it would be like to live and work in a space-like environment. His responsibilities during the mission helped sharpen his skills, particularly in managing medical and physiological challenges in extreme conditions. All of these experiences gave him confidence, knowing he was as prepared as possible for his upcoming spaceflight. Gathering wisdom from experienced astronauts. Though Eiman was well prepared physically, he also knew that no amount of training could fully capture the emotional and sensory experiences of space. To gain insight into what to expect, he sought out advice from astronauts who had already flown with Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic. These space veterans offered him practical tips and shared personal stories that helped ease any lingering nerves. One astronaut told him to be ready for the brightness of the sun, much more intense than on Earth, and suggested bringing sunglasses to protect his eyes. Another gave a more humorous piece of advice: avoid wearing a hat, as it tends to float off in zero gravity. These little details made the experience feel more real for Eiman, reminding him that, while space was vast and awe-inspiring, it also had practical challenges that required preparation. Preparing for the mission, personal items and payload. As the launch date approached, Eiman also had to decide what personal items he would bring with him into space. Blue Origin's capsule had strict weight and size limits for payloads, so he had to be selective about what would accompany him on this monumental journey. He carefully curated a collection of meaningful objects, each one representing a part of his life, his passions, and the people who had supported him along the way. Among these items were patches and badges for close friends, mementos for Moondown members, and deeply personal items, like photos of loved ones and artwork from admired artists. One of the most special items he brought was a series of stickers featuring an illustration titled "A Heart for Space," a symbolic merging of his two great passions, cardiology and space exploration. These small tokens were more than just keepsakes, they represented the culmination of his dreams and the people who had helped him reach them. The science behind the flight, a personal experiment. While Eiman wasn't conducting a large-scale scientific experiment during his flight, he was involved in a significant study in collaboration with Cornell University. This research focused on the potential genetic effects of space radiation on human DNA. Before his flight, Eiman provided a blood sample that would be analyzed for any changes after his brief exposure to space. The results would contribute to a growing body of research on how space travel affects the human body, with potential implications for long-term space exploration. In addition to the scientific curiosity surrounding his trip, Eiman was also concerned about staying healthy leading up to the flight. With his children returning to school and the ever-present risk of illnesses like COVID-19, he took extra precautions to avoid getting sick before launch. In the days leading up to the mission, he wore a mask and kept a careful distance from large crowds to ensure nothing would jeopardize his once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. On August 29th, the day finally arrived. Eiman woke up early, filled with a mix of excitement, disbelief, and nervous anticipation. The atmosphere at the Blue Origin launch site in West Texas was electric. As he suited up and boarded the New Shepard rocket, he couldn't help but think of the journey that had led him here. The countdown began, and with a sudden roar, the rocket lifted off, propelling him toward the stars. Breaking through the beauty of space. As the New Shepard reached the Kármán line, the official boundary of space, Eiman was hit with the overwhelming beauty of the view. The transition from the bright blue of Earth's atmosphere to the vast blackness of space was instantaneous. From the capsule window, he saw Earth from a perspective few ever will, a fragile, glowing blue orb floating in the darkness. This moment, known as the overview effect, profoundly changed his understanding of the world. The absence of borders and the interconnectedness of humanity became more evident, reinforcing his belief in the fragility of life and the importance of global unity. The weightlessness experience. In zero gravity, Eiman floated effortlessly, a surreal feeling after years of imagining it. Despite the short time in space, every second felt precious. The awe of the view overshadowed any physical sensations, making weightlessness feel secondary to the experience of witnessing the planet from above. A safe return to Earth. After a few minutes in space, the New Shepard capsule began its descent. The landing was smooth and flawless, but the emotional impact of the journey lingered. Eiman had not only fulfilled his dream but had also gained a new perspective on life and the planet. His spaceflight, though brief, would stay with him forever. After returning to Earth, Eiman Jahangir reflected on the significance of his journey. As the first Iranian-born man to fly to space, his achievement was deeply personal, but its impact went beyond him. His story showed that with perseverance, even the most impossible dreams could become reality. For his family, especially his mother, this was a culmination of years of sacrifice and hope. For the world, Eiman's flight was a symbol of how space exploration can unite people from all walks of life. Eiman's journey reminds us that dreams are not limited by borders or setbacks. Whether your passion is science, art, or something else, the path to realizing it is paved with persistence. Look up at the stars tonight and ask yourself, what's your impossible dream? Start breaking it down into achievable steps. The universe may seem far, but with enough dedication, you too can reach for the stars. Let Eiman's story inspire you to take the first step toward making your dreams a reality.